Yes, I can. Can you hear me? I'm good.
I can hear you.
Great.
I can hear you. I can't see you.
Can you
Very
guys hear
good.
me? Hello?
I heard somebody, yes. This is Scott. I can hear some people.
Tracy?
I can hear you, Tracy.
It's really weird. All right. It's weird to hear people and to see myself. It's weird.
I know.
Okay. I'm a little freaked out.
I don't see anybody. Is that what everybody else has, or?
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you now. Perfect.
I can hear you. Yep.
Yes, I can hear you and everyone else.
Jeez. You got your wearing gear on. I like it.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's kind of fun.
Nope.
How do you mute? How do you mute the? How do you mute it?
You're going to tell us when to go back to this, or when you just announce awards, we go back to this? Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Hey Corey. Hey Corey. When my phone's sideways, I don't see the bottom browser. I don't see the bottom browser when I'm sideways, so I can't like mute it or whatever. Should I flip my phone the other way and then change the angle or something? Let me see how this. I still don't see the other device. Okay, so what should I do then? Okay, just mute it, and then when I go back on it, I should hit it again, right?
Hello, Upper Bucks. I'm Danielle Bodner, Executive Director here at the Upper Bucks Chamber. Before we can begin, can everyone please make sure that they have muted their computers, and also pin this video, the Upper Bucks Chamber video. It's the blue box that has 3 little dots. Click on that, and then you'll see pin video as an option, and click there. That will help with your best viewing experience tonight. So thank you for joining us for the 2020 Silver Linings Annual Award and Meeting. I realize that this is not the way in which we would normally celebrate our annual awards, but we all know that 2020 happened. And it's a great lesson for us to make sure that we don't get compliant and we never give up. We have to make sure that we evolve and, dare I say, pivot. We all need to see the silver lining to all of it. Chambers are built and thrive for that in-person interaction. Nothing beats the feeling of walking into a room full of familiar faces and colleagues. And nothing beats the joy of walking away from an event, making new friends and making new connections. It's a rush when you get to spend quality time with quality people in your community. I know that we all miss that. One thing that I hear over and over again from chamber members, community partners, and past members is that the Upper Bucks Chamber felt like home to them. Home. I get goosebumps every time I hear it and every time I say it, because home is that feeling that is authentic. You can't recreate it. You can't buy it. When you find home, it pushes you to make sure that you protect it, you share it, and you do everything in your power to make it flourish. 2020 has pushed us to make sure we find those glimpses and glimmers of what we used to do, before the pandemic. But now we are all forever changed. We are going to do better, be better. We're going to vision differently. We're going to collaborate more, and we're going to find a way to make 2021 feel a lot more like home. I want to thank all the chamber members who renewed their trust and faith in the chamber during this pandemic. We're going to continue to serve you and your business and your community. And a special message to all the members who had to make a hard decision and step away. Don't worry, we're still here for you. Tonight, you're going to hear from past presidents who are going to share their chamber story. They're going to share their silver linings to their time here at Upper Bucks Chamber. Tonight, we're also going to start with our first past president is Doug Hutchinson of Hutchinson, Gillihan, and Free. When I first came to the chamber, Doug was so nice to me, and he welcomed me like to his home. I can tell how much he cherishes this community and the chamber.
Hi, I'm Doug Hutchinson. I had the privilege of serving as a member of the Board of Directors of the Upper Bucks Chamber for more than 20 years, and as president for 2 of those years, 1985 and 1986. While I lived in Springfield Township of Bucks County for more than 50 years, when I started my accounting practice in 1976, I was a relative newcomer to the Upper Bucks area. So I wanted to contribute whatever I could to the community since I'd be working to serve that area. I joined the chamber in '78, and shortly thereafter I volunteered to serve on the board, and subsequently, of course, I elected to president in 1985 and served for 2 consecutive terms. Linda Wien was our executive director at the time. As you do now, we had a very active board consisting of dedicated business people. Collectively, we were able to assemble a record of which we were all proud. We started with 400 members, and thanks to the diligent work of Linda and the committees, by the end of our term, we had grown to 600 members. My tenure was blessed by a very active group of board members and a treasurer in the person of Barbara Hilligus. After my term ended in 1986, I stayed active in the chamber and as a volunteer treasurer for a number of years, and also chaired the Transportation Committee. Our Transportation Committee at the time was also very active, and special thanks to Jeff Vay from Milford Township. Collectively, we undertook to work directly with Bob Cormack of the Bucks County Economic Development Corporation, and were able to assemble a subcommittee called the Route 313 Task Force. I chaired that task force for several years, during which time we were able to assemble a committee of representatives of all the municipal subdivisions bordering 313. That was an accomplishment in and of itself. That group completed a significant committee report which enabled a number of improvements to the 313 corridor. At that time, I realized that working in the area of transportation improvement was a lifelong commitment, and Jeff Vey and some of the other participants at the time have fortunately continued to push for the many improvements identified as being highlighted by our report. One very special accomplishment at the time was the creation of the Chamber of Commerce Golf Tournament. Thanks to Bob Whean, Linda's husband, as we left our board meeting in Myers Restaurant in 1985, in which we wrestled once again with chamber financial problems, Bob said, "We ought to set up a chamber golf tournament." Those words were the start of what would turn out to be the interim solution of the chamber's financial problems. During the first year, our committee was able to assemble 64 golfers for the very first tournament. From there, it took off and eventually grew to over 200 golfers, causing us to have to institute 2 different flights, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. Each year, QNB sponsored the $10,000 hole-in-one prize, and the arrangement called for the prize to be split 50-50 between the golfer and the chamber. We went for several years without a winner, but one year we ended up with a dilemma. We had 3 holes-in-one in 1 year. The first winner was in the morning, who was, if my memory serves me, Vinnie Caruso, principal owner of Quick Goal Incorporated. So when the second one occurred in the afternoon, we had to do something. We decided to take $1,000 from the chamber prize and give it to the afternoon golfer. But when the third one hit, we could only come up with a year's membership at the YMCA, which oddly enough was won by a board member of the Y, Joe Walder. All told, I have many fond memories of my involvement with the Upper Bucks Chamber of Commerce. I must admit that we did have some trials and tribulations along the way. After Linda retired, we went through several replacements, each of which seemed to produce their own challenges, culminating with Tara King, who turned out to be free of challenges and a winner for several years up to her retirement. During the interim period of trying to find the right replacement for the executive director, another of our past presidents was Jim Lowe from Warings in Ottsville. Jim became known as the Hatchet Man, since he had the unfortunate need to force a change during his tenure. I want to wish Danielle, with her board, staff, and committee, success in the journey of continuing to serve and grow the Upper Bucks Chamber in the 21st century. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Doug, and thanks for the well wishes. Now I want to take our opportunity to thank our sponsors for the 2020 Silver Linings Awarded Meeting. Our first sponsor we want to thank is our presenting sponsor, ServPro of Upper Bucks.
Good evening, Upper Bucks. I'm Robin Collegesi. I'm the Director of Marketing at ServPro of Upper Bucks. Myself, along with co-owners Sean McCabe and Mike McRory, we are thrilled to be sponsoring tonight's event. There is always a silver lining, and 2021 is going to be the silver lining to 2020. We hope that you all have a prosperous year. We hope you enjoy tonight's event and enjoy your meals if you chose the meal plan. Again, we are proud sponsors of the Upper Bucks Chamber of Commerce and support all of the endeavors so we have a stronger, better community. Thank you and enjoy the evening.
thank you again, ServPro, for being our presenting sponsor. Our gold sponsor for tonight is Parks Casino. Our silver sponsor for tonight is Grandview Health. Our bronze sponsors are My Benefit Advisor and Hutchinson, Gillihan and Free. Our drink sponsor is Doan Distillery. And a special thank you to our video and production experts at PBR Productions. Corey and Nate and his team made tonight's virtual event a reality, and they can do the same for you. And one final huge thank you to ServPro, Mike, Sean, Robin, Rebecca, Amanda, and the whole team of ServPro Upper Bucks, who delivered all the meals, and especially to anyone who ordered them. So thank you so much for all that you did for tonight. When I started at UBCC 2 years ago, I was really excited to work with our next past president who's going to share their story. Susan Dale of Spinnerstown Hotel was someone I worked with before, and I knew how special she was. Susan puts every amount of effort and heart into everything she does. She makes her business and every project that she touches feel like home.
Hi there. It's difficult to summarize a few memories from the past 15 years into a few minutes, and I'm sure that if we were all sitting around a table together, we can spend hours reminiscing, especially if we had some beers in front of us. But a few thoughts really do stick out. For me, it began with Denise Bentz, an amazingly hard worker and wonderful person who nominated me to the board of directors in 2005. My time spent with Denise on various projects eventually led to a great friendship. And today I consider Denise as part of my family. Just 2 years later, I found myself giving a brief speech at the annual dinner and accepting my role as president to the board in 2007. I remember my sister and her husband being there, and my sister kept telling me to eat the chocolate cake for dessert so that when I got up to speak in front of everyone, I would have chocolate cake stuck in my teeth. Sisters. I remember working with Todd Barringer, Larry Romanowski, Rich Sablinski, to name a few, on the Chamber's first ever strategic plan. We really got to know each other over time, and I consider all of them to be great friends. Those strategic planning sessions continued over the years with Mark Springer leading the charge, who at the time worked in strategic planning for St. Luke's Quakertown Hospital. And while all this was going on, the Chamber was working to create something new for our community. And that something new had its debut in 2005, which later became known as the Upper Bucks Foodie. Jill Simcoe was tasked with being the organizer for this event. Eventually, I became chair of that committee and continued as such for, I think, 11, 12 years, give or take. Awesome people like Dennis Wimmer, Wendy Ringaneri, Diana Bernecker, and Sue Quinquay, to name a few, stepped up and helped to consistently grow that event. Here, real connections and real friendships were made. We were a committee of talented, dedicated, and genuine individuals who really wanted to be a part of something really wonderful for our community, as well as benefiting free enterprise education, a Chamber priority. I remember working with Terry Sands, who graciously agreed on letting us literally take over his literally brand new facility and turn it into a big party spot, year after year since 2005. And Jared Sands continues his father's legacy of generosity today. We can't thank the Sands enough. The financial return for the Chamber have been significant. I continue to serve on that committee with the very capable Leanna Knight at the helm now. But most recently, Danielle had reached out to me just to see how I was doing. Governor Wolf just mitigated restaurants again. But this time, it was right before the holidays. It was December 10th, and mitigation was to begin in 2 days, a Saturday. Food had been purchased for the weekend, multiple reservations had been made throughout the month, and it was ripped right out from under us with no notice. Well, Danielle's timing of that phone call to me was coincident to the peak of the anger and frustration that everyone in the hospitality industry was feeling. The emotions were high. I was really charged, but she listened, she understood, and she valued that discussion. She let me vent. I felt like I was reacting to a situation like you do sometimes with family because you can. Another real connection. All of these real connections are what makes being part of the Chamber like being part of a family. With leaders like Deanna Mindler, Tara King, Danielle Bonner, Tracy Klein, Sandra Walker. The memories have been all been very positive. The organization is about its people. The relationships have value, and the chamber has value. Thank you, and have a good night.
Thank you, Susan, and thanks for all the value that you've added to the chamber and our community. So now I'm really excited. We're going to move on to the awards section. Tonight, we're honored to have our 2019 award winners to help us celebrate our 2020 award recipients. First, please welcome 2019 Chamber Impact winner, Leanna Knight of Warren Weiss Agency. Hey, Leanna. How are you?
I'm good. I'm hearing you from a distance. I'm not sure what happened here, but can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, and thanks so much for joining us tonight.
You're welcome. All right, so my turn to introduce Jason. So Jason Waring is a third generation owner of Waring's Lumber and Home Center. And it's part of a larger family of businesses that can help serve your any construction and business needs you have. I'm really excited that I'm giving this, presenting this to Jason. Last year when I won this award, everyone said to me, what does this mean? What is this award about? And my answer was, I get a lot of people to say yes a lot to benefit the chamber. One of those people that never says no is Jason Waring. Whether I'm asking him to sponsor something, whether I'm asking him to carry stuff at the golf event, and more importantly, when I called him up and said, hey, I got somebody to donate 365 bottles of beer for the foodie, and I need you to help me build a stage for it for our event. Jason was like, whatever you need, just let me know. So I am very privileged and I'm very excited for him to present this award, the Impact Award, to Jason Waring.
Thanks, Leanna. So hopefully everybody can hear me. It still feels like public speaking, but I want to thank everybody, thank all my friends and vendors that we met through the chamber, and really proud of the technology advances we're making. This is pretty cool.
All right.
Thank you, Jason, and congrats. It's a well-deserved award for you. Now please welcome the 2019 New on the Scene winner, Kate Gerhardt of Rita's Water Ice of Quakertown. So Kate is probably right now making tons of water ice because I know she'll be opening up soon, getting ready for the spring onslaught of people who just love water ice so much. The 2020 New on the Scene Award is being presented to Complete Wellness in Quakertown. It's the dynamic duo of Stacy and Tracy. If you've ever been to their facility or got to meet them, they're an amazing duo who do so much for our community. And not only were they able to survive during the pandemic, but they were also able to create a retail therapy within their facility that offered even more amazing options to the community. So congratulations, Stacy and Tracy. This New on the Scene Award is much deserved because you guys have been putting so much amazing energy out into the universe, and it's amazing to see you get it back.
Don't make me cry. Don't make me cry. So I wanted to say something profound tonight. Something memorable, something to express all the emotions we have about being chosen for this award. And nothing would come so easily. The more I searched for the right words, the more it really boils down to how grateful, extremely grateful we are that our business peers notice us and acknowledge us and believe in us. We all start a business, we all know the challenges, and we all know what it was like this past year. We are grateful that we have endured and are still growing. Tracy and I are the faces of Complete Wellness, but 20 of us contribute to its success. Sincerely, thank you for this honor, and just watch what we can do going forward.
We really consider ourselves lucky to be part of this community, especially the business community. From the very beginning, we always felt very supported and encouraged, even during all these really rough times, especially during these times. So thank you very, very much for all the support and for this award. We appreciate it.
Again, well deserved to both of you. Thank you for being in our community. Thank you for showing up and offering all the services that you do at Complete Wellness, which I don't think I even got to say. Reflexology, massage, the amazing salt room that you have, and all the cool retail therapy, the artists that you're bringing to the town is great. So thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Danielle.
Thank you so very much.
Now I'm going to be calling on Scott Orzechowski from QNB. Scott is here tonight representing QNB, and they are the 2019 Silver Lining. They're the 2019 Excellence in Business winner. Hey, Scott, how are you?
On behalf of QNB Bank, I want to thank the Chamber and congratulate all the winners of tonight's awards. It is people and businesses like you that make our local community successful and, more importantly, a great place to live. As the 2019 Excellence in Business Award winner, QNB continues to be committed to not only serving the financial needs of the community, but also to make a difference, or as our board says, to be relevant in the communities we serve. That is why it's with great pleasure I will get to introduce the Upper Bucks Chamber of Commerce 2020 Excellence in Business Award to Mike McGrory and Sean McCabe of ServPro of Upper Bucks. They're definitely individuals that are relevant in our community. ServPro of Upper Bucks specializes in the cleanup and restoration of residential and commercial property after a fire, smoke, or water damage. In addition, they are also equipped to mitigate mold and mildew situations. If you ever attended an Upper Bucks Chamber event, you've seen their bright green tents or tasted their homemade food as you are doing tonight. From a business perspective, I can speak from personal experience as I received a wonderful phone call one day, Friday, 4:15, from my son informing me that my basement was flooded. So after immediately asking him, did the water reach the bar, I drove home to assess the situation. Not knowing where to turn, I called ServPro, hoping someone would be able to come out on Monday. To my shock, someone answered the phone, asked me where I lived. He had a team right down the street from me, and by 5 o'clock, they were working on my basement. They stayed until 1 a.m. to save my drywall and save my basement, which they did. This was already putting in a full day on a Friday, and as Mike said, this is what we do every day. Committed to our communities, the owners, Sean and Mike, have made it their mission to dedicate time and resources to the Upper Bucks community. Any chance they have to lend a helping hand to local chambers of commerce, fire departments, police departments, organizations in needs, including the generous support of Quakertown Alive, they're always the first ones to help. So thank you, Mike and Sean. Congratulations to ServPro of Upper Bucks, the 2020 Upper Bucks Chamber of Commerce Excellence in Business Award winners.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. First question I have is how much time do I have? Can I go on for like 20 minutes, or Joe Wingert going to come over here and cut my cable? No, thank you very much. I'm honored. Actually, I told my partner, Sean, I wouldn't say this out loud, but I would only say it to him, but I'm beyond moved at the recognition that we're receiving, because we never started out to get the recognition. He's almost 50 and I am in my 50s, and we just felt that it was time to start giving back to the communities that helped serve us as we came up. But I most importantly need to thank Danielle and Tracy for the opportunities they've given us, the awareness that they've allowed us to have. And I also want to thank Amanda and Becca, and most importantly, Robin, my marketing team. They do every mundane idea that comes out of Sean's head. They follow through on it. They figure out an angle. He throws out ideas like, we want to cook food, figure that out. Or we want to put up tents, figure that out. And they pivot on a dime, and they figure it out for us. And I don't have a speech prepared because this is how I usually roll, and it's how my company rolls. And it's I think it's what allows us all to pivot on a dime and be able to provide services and help and anything else we can to the people of the Upper Bucks community. I'm not part of the Upper Bucks community in where I live. I live down in Montgomery County, but I feel everybody out there. We order food out there. We do as much as we can out there to make it thrive. And I thank you all so much for everything that you give back to me.
Awesome, Mike. Thank you so much. You definitely have seen Mike's and Sean's green tents or the green cars all around town. So them getting this award is very appropriate. So congratulations to all of our winners tonight. Our next past president that's going to share their story is Joe Wingert. He was one of the first smiling faces I met at UBCC. And he has the amazing talent to make the entire county feel like Bucks County is their home through his publication, Bucks County Herald.
I've been honored to work with the Upper Bucks Chamber of Commerce for a number of years, most recently on the board of directors in a leadership role as the president of the board and most recently as the outgoing president. And I have to say that one of the most memorable things for me has really not been one event in particular, but what has happened over time. We've had spent many years trying to build our board to essentially cover a great cross-section of our business community. And by the time I was leaving the board, we had met representatives from manufacturing, banking, law, and the media on the board. And it's really very interesting to watch these different groups come together and have discussions about issues that are very important to business owners, small, medium, and large, in the Upper Bucks County region. And I have to say that during the coronavirus lockdown, it was remarkable how everybody came together to bring the energy that they had in the previous years to ensure the survival of the board and the Chamber of Commerce, and to continue to reach out to its members and show what kinds of benefits the Upper Bucks Chamber provides to them. So again, I want to thank you all for having the opportunity to be there, and I would love to stay involved, as I have promised I will. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. I'm going to keep you to that promise, and we're never going to let you go. Hopefully you'll always remain part of the Upper Bucks Chamber. So saying goodbye to board members is never easy, and this year is no different. I want to thank Mark Horn of Grandview Health and Joe Wingert of Bucks County Herald for their service to the Chamber. Mark and Joe served with grace and compassion, and we are forever grateful for their service. When you say goodbye, I say hello. So let's please welcome our newest board members for 2021. First, we have Renee Anconcimiesa from Grandview Health, Joe Ferry, Percy Town Improvement Association, June Hunt of Moondog Yoga, Ed Scholl of Quakertown Borough Economic Development. We also want to recognize our 2021 UBCC officers. Our President, Chuck Hodder, Vice President, Vicki McClatchy, our second Vice President, Corey Fassbender, Treasurer, Barb Solsiak, and our past President, Kathy Ramson. And I have to take a moment to thank the rest of our amazing board. We have Corey Armedio of PBR Productions, Dave Alt of Alt Signature Homes, Brian Benner of Warren Weiss Agency, Peter Blackmore of Univest, Todd Hurley of Penn Community Bank, Gavin Lebowski, Lebowski Law, Mike McGrory, ServPro of Upper Bucks, Dave Nagy, Warings, Jack Funder, representing the manufacturing community, Bob Pedreza of Edward Jones Financial, Doug Props of Quick Goal, and Zach Shuck of Quakertown Community School District. Thank you to all of our board members. I want to take a special moment to thank our next past president, Kathy Ramson. Kathy Ramson was our 2020 president and was met with unprecedented obstacles as a president of a chamber during a pandemic. Each month, Kathy and I would sit and talk and figure out how we tried to balance keeping our community safe while still serving the business community. Kathy brought so many attributes to the chamber as a president. Her amazing insight in the healthcare field, her board development, professional development for our board members, and we all admired her absolute passion for continuing to make the Upper Bucks region and regions around us healthier by her work through St. Luke's University Health Network.
Hi, I'm Kathy Ramson, and I've been on the Upper Bucks Chamber of Commerce board for the past 5 years, representing St. Luke's University Health Network. As I enter my 4th year on the executive committee as the past president, I can reflect on the numerous benefits that I've seen personally and St. Luke's has seen as an organization for their membership with the Upper Bucks Chamber of Commerce. Over the past year with the COVID pandemic, we've adopted the slogan, Upper Bucks Strong. To me, the number one advantage of being on the board and having membership with the Upper Bucks Chamber of Commerce is the strong partnerships and the strong relationships that we have formed. There's a lot of amazing business leaders in our community, and I've been proud to work side by side with these leaders, especially during this past year, during this difficult time in the pandemic. If I had to pick one memory that I've loved the most over the past 5 years, without a doubt, it would be the presentations by the high school students that presented from their Pennsylvania Free Enterprise Week. The foodies supported these students for a week in the summer where they can be business leaders. And to me, watching these future business leaders was really exciting, and it was really my most memorable moment as part of the board. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. We appreciate all your support and everything you've given to the Chamber over the years. Now, before I introduce our 2021 president, I hope that you've enjoyed this program and you feel that you want to get engaged and connect with the Chamber. If you're already engaged and connected with the Chamber, thank you. And please take a moment to share our story, our sense of home, and our silver linings with others. So as far as business slogans go, I fell in love with our next president's business slogan immediately. And I pretty much say it any chance that I get. Please welcome our 2021 president, Chuck Hodder of Hodder Painting. He puts the paint where it ain't.
Hi, I'm Chuck Hodder, Hodder Painting. Thank you, Danielle, for that introduction. I've been in business for 17 years in the Upper Bucks area for 30. Joined the Chamber of Commerce, I'm told, in 2013, even though I think it's been longer than that. I joined the Chamber with one reason and one reason only, that was to get more business. And as I found very quickly, as I joined, and then 2 days later went into the office and said, "Where's my business? You told me I get business here today." So after I found out that didn't work, then I tried another way. I went into my favorite restaurant, got a burger, and after my 8th time there that week, the owner comes out and says, "Chuck, you've been here 8 times this week. Hey, come in here. Maybe you want to take a look at some of my walls that need painting." I think I was onto something. Same thing with my dentist. As I'm sitting in the chair getting drilled, I said, "Hey, I think these walls need a little work." My dentist said, "You want to paint them?" I had an in. So I was on to something with the Chamber of Commerce. So I worked with the business and community, and on the side I saw the Chamber of Commerce. We're here for you if you need us. This is the resource place to bind all together. So once I figured that out, it made it real easy to be part of the Chamber of Commerce. So those who are thinking about renewing or becoming a new member, it's very beneficial. Like I said, I've been in there for 7 years now, and know what we're doing and where we're heading with the business, and it works. As I get to know new members and new businesses, it helps out for the future. 2020, what a year we had. Danielle and Tracy, we had no way to prepare for what we were about to have with this pandemic, and providing the information and the resources so that businesses could stay afloat, have the payroll protection and the money, did a remarkable job from what I've seen for 2020. How many people drove down the street and you look at your favorite restaurant that was closed, and you see cars lined up to get their dinners and help these businesses stay afloat. My favorite line that I stood in for a long time was Favors Liquor. I don't know, maybe some other people's did too. For an hour and a half, 90-degree heat, but to each his own. As we end 2020 into 2021, I look forward to meeting everybody and getting to know everybody. We have a lot of irons in the fire post-pandemic, and a lot of in-person instead of on a virtual screen. So as I go out, I want to remind everybody to stay local. Thank you very much, and look forward.
Everyone can now unmute and network. Enjoy the remainder of the evening.